Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports back with your 4 free plays for college football bowl action on January 2nd, Friday, January 2nd, 2026. Hope everybody's had a good New Year so far. Let's keep it going with some winners here. One of these is actually going to be my 4-unit play tonight, one of these games. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. But don't forget, if you want to get on all my top plays, you get the all sports action. Last day to do this special, they let me keep it up till Friday. A lot of people said it was payday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, text your name to my number, 740-760-1131. You can get on all sports action, save you over 75% instead of buying them individually. Sports, 2 weeks for $99, all sports, a month, $175 all sports, or 2 months, $299. So that's like a $700, $800 value for the 2 weeks. Months, it's basically almost $900, and then 2 months will be over $1,200. So make sure you get in on it. Text your name to this number last day for the deal. Okay, let's do college football here, bowl action. Usually IC's with me. He's traveling back from Hilton Head, so I told him I would cover it for him, and hopefully he'll be in for the NBA and college basketball for today. But either way, we started off in the Armed Force Bowl. Rice at Texas State. Texas State. Both of these teams, leave something to be desired. Let's just say that. Texas Tech is 6-6. Rice is one of those 5-7 teams that got this option because other teams opted out of this. And I don't really like either one of these teams this year. It's been 2 teams that I bet against a lot and won a lot of money doing so. Rice, they lost 52-3 the last game of the regular season to USF. So they could really – and then the game before that, 56-24. At least Texas State, they did win 3 games to become bowl eligible, beating Southern Miss, Louisiana Monroe, and South Alabama. But to me, this is just way too many points. I know Texas State's the better team. There's a ton of time off. We've seen how much rust these teams have had this week with the bowls, the ones that didn't play, especially in the playoffs. Give me Rice plus the 16.5. This is one that you shouldn't be laying big money on. As they say, if you're betting a lot of money on this game, you might want to be checking in yourself into some Gamblers Anonymous rehab type stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports. I think this next game is a lot better game. We've got the Liberty Bowl. My Bearcats facing on against a good Navy team that's 10-2 on the year. What a year they had. Navy's favored by 7, total 54.5. And the big news, of course, in Cincinnati is Sorsby, the good quarterback, is already in the portals, not playing in this game. And as a Bearcat fan, it's like it's sad that you see that your best player that has eligibility and most likely will not end up in the draft. I guess there's always a potential he does, but if he doesn't, he should be back with the Bearcats. But instead, he's going to be in the portal and with another team, someone paying him probably $1 million plus next year. I do think Cincinnati will rally, though. I think you take Cincinnati plus the 7 here. I think when you see this game, Navy's a really good team. Cincinnati was really good. They kind of lost their way a little bit. They got away. They were a little banged up late in the year, and they went away from that great run game they had. And they lost 4 in a row to finish the year. Now they're healthier. And when you got a backup quarterback in, you probably were going to run the ball more. So I think you take the Bearcats plus the 7 in this one. If you like a total, I would probably play the under as well. Next game, Arizona and SMU. This is where my 4-unit play for today is in college football. 3-unit play. I've got a play on the side. So let's talk about the total here. This is a SMU team that, what are they playing for? Because remember, last year, it's a little disappointing because last year you're playing in the playoffs at this time or in and about this time. And now this year, you kind of let one get away because they beat Miami with 3-4 games left in the year. And then everything was going good. And then they lose to Cal last game of the year at Cal 38-35. So are they ready for this one? That'd be the big question. But their defense was way better this year. They held Louisville to 6, BC to 13, Miami only to 20, Wake Forest to 13. This is a pretty good defense. So I think you take the under in this game. Like I said, I do have a stronger play, a 3-unit play on the side. If you want that, of course, you can get in on it. You text my number right here. Text that there, and you can get in on it. But I do like a smaller play on the under in this game. All right, so the last bowl game here for tonight, we have the Duke's Mayo Bowl, which is one of my favorite bowls. They're always dumping the mayonnaise, kind of I like mayonnaise, but that's a little disgusting. Let's just say that. Mississippi State -3 against Wake Forest here. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this game. Total's 53.5. And, Mississippi State, another one of those 5-7 teams that got in because other teams opted out. Multiple other teams opted out. Wake Forest had a really good season. And they had a couple losses in there that you're like, man, if they didn't lose some close to line, Georgia Tech, they lost by 1. NC State, they were up big in the first half, ended up losing by 10. They could have won those games. I mean, this could be a 10-win Wake Forest team, and yet they're underdog. I'm guessing in large part because the SEC strength, and people think, oh, the Big SEC would just kill even the top of the ACC. I just don't think that's the case here. I think you take Wake Forest plus the 3. I mean, the SEC's kind of been up and down. We saw Alabama get boat raced yesterday. We've seen Tennessee lost, right? Missouri lost. So to me, I think you take the team that's playing for something. I think Wake Forest, it's not often they're in a nice bowl game post New Year's Day. And I like Wake Forest plus the 3. I think they're going to win outright in this one. So that's what I like for today. Don't forget, if you want in on my top plays, text your name to my number. You can get a 2-week pass. All sports, just $99. A month, $175. All sports, or 2 months, $299. If you go check it out, the prices, it's $99 per week per sport. So that ends up being $700-800 right now, depending on what sports you get in on. So it's a heck of a deal, and you'll get all my plays for today, which I'll have 3 of them, including a nice play in college hoops, a top play in college hoops, and a little 3-unit play here in college football, and a 4-unit play in the NBA. So you'll get all 3 of those tomorrow in that All Sports Pass. All right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you again tomorrow.